As I was driving, a silhouette crossed my path, and I had to dodge it. Instead of seeing the mirror, I saw
I'm spotting another man. And then, from the other side of the road, a tall man wearing a deer head with huge antlers walked right in front of my car.
I felt as if I was anchored to the bed. It got melted off her face, blending in with her skin until...
It's Kevin. Kid. Or Loki. D9 back with another video. And I know it's been okay. I'm not gonna, guys. I'm gonna stop with that intro. Okay. So yes, today I hope you guys are good. So today we're reacting to Horror Stories Animated, and you guys already know the disclaimer. You saw it in my other video. Other thing is, I hope you guys, please guys, I please pressure you guys to please go subscribe to my second YouTube account. If you just want to see behind the scenes of my life and stuff, okay. But I'm not gonna keep you guys long. Up to it. Let's go. I'm out. Goodbye, y'all.
I'm a changed man. You mean that much to me? I don't wanna be done. I'm doing all that I can, and everybody hates grace. They can't understand. Can we love? 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 Girl, I know what to do. This ain't over. It ain't over. It ain't over. Oh, it ain't over.
True dash cam.
It may seem a little strange, but one of my favorite hobbies is driving on the road. Many people are afraid of falling asleep or making long and tedious trips that would bother anyone, but that was not the case for me. I always found an enormous peace traveling alone on the road, a chance to find myself and feel a peace that in the hustle and bustle of the city is impossible to find. Even after that fateful day, I still enjoy traveling alone. The problem I had on that dark and cold March night was that I was unknowingly not alone. I remember how that day I was going to the beach to meet my nephews. I asked for a vacation from my job and went full speed ahead. The road was long and lonely, but it was nothing I hadn't done before. When I reached the dark road, I slowed down and just enjoyed the ride. But something interrupted my peace. As I was driving, a silhouette crossed my path and I had to dodge it, but I still felt like I hit something. I braked violently and my car almost went off the road, but I managed to control it and hold on. I looked out the window, and there I saw it. A dead animal was lying on the side of the road. Aw, poor thing. I've always been an animal person, and would never turn my back on a wounded one. But this deer-like animal was definitely dead. There was nothing I could have done about it. I restarted my car and went on my way. After I turned the car back on, something felt different. Not only did the car feel heavier, but I felt like something was bothering me. I had a bad feeling. I started thinking about the animal I had seen a few seconds before. I was sure I had dodged it. I mean, accidents happen. It wasn't the first time that had happened to me, but something was different. I never saw the animal hit the car, and the blow was not felt from the front. Besides, how did the animal end up on the side of the road? I had too many questions, and unfortunately, I was going to find the answers. I looked in the rearview mirror to make sure I was okay after the impact, and instead of seeing the mirror, I saw it. A face was peering out from above my roof. His piercing eyes were staring at me from above the roof, to which he was clinging with his huge, inhuman arms. Aware that I had spotted him, he didn't let me react and stretched his hand through my window, trying to attack me. I managed to dodge it, but my car spun out of control and ended up in the dirt on the side of the road. The creature flew into a bush in front of me, and I lost sight of it.
Just have a wing.
Scared, I started the car again, and before backing up, I saw it again. In front of me, it moved from one bush to another in a strange, animalistic way, as if it
Let me
were
take
a
my nose
spider.
first, guys.
Anyone else would think I had just encountered a monster, but I remember from my medical school days seeing this type of person. His arms and legs were completely disproportionate to the rest of his body. He was extremely tall, and his hands looked huge. This person was a human being with Marfan syndrome.
My
I
friend.
started to back the car up to get out
Yeah,
of there,
I think I
but then
started to
I
back the
heard it
car.
again,
Mama
the
and
same
guy.
thump I felt when I saw the dead animal. At that moment, I realized that that noise did not mean I had run over it. That animal had been there for a long time. The thump I heard was the sound of its killer climbing onto my roof. At full speed, I closed the driver's window just in time to prevent his hand from going back through the window. But even so, I didn't manage to break the rearview mirror on the way. Quickly, I looked at the passenger window. It was also open. I closed it and found him there, face to face, looking at me, separated by a window that 2 seconds before was open. We both held each other's gaze. He began to lick the window in my direction, filling it with saliva. Within seconds, he got upset and tried to bite it. After that, he paced the car from place to place before my bewildered eyes. I didn't know how to react. I knew I couldn't accelerate the car and leave until he got out of it. I might be facing a human, but he was totally insane. In the midst of my thoughts, this person started hitting the car from above wildly. I started it up again and tried to get back on the road, but the car stalled halfway. It seemed that the skidding from before and the pounding had taken an effect. Come on, really? You gonna fail me now? At that moment, I thought I was going to die. This was supposed to be just a vacation trip where I
Yeah,
was
that's why
going
they
to
say,
see
guys,
my
you must stay
family,
home, or you
and now I was destined
Now,
to die
imagine.
for no reason on an abandoned road at the hands of a psychiatrically unstable person. Suddenly, the rearview mirror inside the car gave me one more hope. In the distance, the lights of a car were shining and moving slowly. That was my only chance. Finding another car on the road was a great rarity. I tried to start the engine with all my might, and as the noise distracted my attacker, I opened the door and sped off as fast as I could. Halfway there, I turned around and saw him chasing me. He was no longer on all fours. He was standing on his 2 feet, and at great speed, he was chasing me, moving his arms up and down in a strange way. The man quickly caught up to me with inhuman speed and grabbed me by the hair, pulling me back. I fell to the ground, and my attacker tried to pull me by the hair to the deepest part of the path. But I grabbed a rock on the way and smashed it into his ankle. Groaning in pain, he let go of me, and just as the car was pulling up, I crossed the road and he stopped.
Hey, you okay, honey?
Please, I need help. Take me out of here now.
Wow, tough night, sweetheart.
Just drive, now.
Sure, hon? Did someone try to kidnap you or something?
Yes, please, just drive.
Jakob.
The man kept staring at me and asking me uncomfortable questions. He was clearly a pervert, but at this point, I was satisfied that he wasn't trying to kill me. The man dropped me off at the nearest town. The next day, I recounted that a mental patient attacked me, and when we went to get my car, it was destroyed. I rescued some of my belongings. I never knew about that maniac, but after researching the area, I found out that there was a mental asylum hidden on the outskirts of a nearby town. In the movies, mental patients escape when there are power outages or disturbances in the place, but real life is much more bitter. This asylum is usually the kind of place where you go in and don't come out. The poor living conditions and lack of concern for the patients who wander in and out of the place makes it a very dangerous establishment. I also learned that the families don't visit the patients and the staff constantly abuses them. This man who managed to escape and attacked me that night looked like a monster, an animal, a beast. The cruel truth is that he was nothing like that. Over time, I began to feel sorry for him, because just like me that day, he was nothing more than a victim.
So like, I think we're just gonna check out another one. Caught my attention. So like, I just wanna watch it.
Hey, Dupont. Those people are real.
I don't know how I'm still alive. I mean, it's all coming back to me now. How I didn't listen to my sister, even though she told me several times not to drive home.
This is post all day. Guys, if you guys watch this movie, right, then they're like, this is my childhood movie, but you will know who those people are, bro. But anyways, let's continue.
Several times not to drive home that night. It was her birthday party, which unfortunately fell on a weekday. The next day was Wednesday, and I had a very important presentation at the office. So when Emily said,
Why don't you crash right here? You can get up early and drive home tomorrow. It's not safe to drive through those woods so late, Peter.
You know I can't do that. I have to go home tonight. I have a big speech tomorrow, and I worked too hard for this presentation.
But it's 2:30 already. By the time you get to the Crooked Creek, it'll be the witching hour.
Witching hour? Oh, what era are you living in, Emily?
Look, Peter, I don't care what you think about me, but it's too risky. People have reported seeing weird things on that road.
Like what? Ghouls and demons? Ooh.
Joke all you want, but 3 people from our town have already gone missing while driving that road late at night. The cops couldn't even find their car. Some say Satanists perform a ritual in those woods at the witching hour. A farmer from the outskirts said that he saw a man crossing the road while wearing a deer head.
My God!
I got up, exhaling a sigh of disappointment, and said,
I live in the modern era, Emily. So, no matter how many scary stories you narrate, I'm gonna drive myself home tonight. All your bullshit fear is making me more adamant to do this.
When Emily realized none of her superstitions will work, she gave up. I bid goodnight to everyone and grabbed my jacket to show myself out. Tomorrow is a big day, and that's all I need to focus on right now. Emily accompanied me to the door, and before I left, she kissed me on the cheek and said,
No matter what you do or see, just don't get out of your car, okay?
Come on, you...
Peter, I am done arguing with you. Just promise me you won't get out of the car no matter what. Swear to me.
Guys,
Fine, I swear
guys,
on
warning,
you.
whatever you guys see
Now,
at now, when you're
stop
driving
worrying
alone,
so
guys,
much.
please don't
I'm
exit
gonna
the
be
car,
just
guys. I
fine.
don't care if
I
it's
gave her a
something
warm
asking you.
hug and wished her a happy
Something's
birthday.
asking you,
One more time.
please help, guys. Don't
She
exit the
watched
car,
me
guys.
drive
It's
away
called-
in my red
it's
Chevy.
so
The roads were completely deserted. In this part of town, you will hardly find traffic after sunset. So in a way, I was glad that I would reach home without any hurdles. The moon was hiding in the clouds, and obviously, there were no
that one's
streetlights.
when the moon hiding
My
behind
car
the clouds,
headlights
that's
were the only thing that were illuminating the way. All the creepy stories Emily told me didn't scare me then, but now, this dark, empty road started to spook me a bit. I rolled down the window and played some music to lighten up the mood. Everything was going fun until I reached the Crooked Creek. Having too many drinks and water later to sober myself up, I felt the urge to pee. I didn't want to stop earlier, thinking I would be able to manage, but it turned out to be an emergency. I stopped the car, got out, and walked to this nearby bush to lose some weight. I was doing my business when I heard a rustling sound, as if someone is running at me at full speed. Being scared, I turned around immediately. A shadowy figure moved on the other side of the road, and soon, a man dressed in a pretty weird manner surfaced from that darkness. He was standing on the opposite side, but the road was not too vast. I could see him quite clearly. The car headlights helped me to get a clear picture, even in that dark. Remember these characters? Thompson and Thompson from Adventures of Tintin?
You see, yeah.
The man was dressed very
Thompson and
similarly
Thompson.
to
As
that.
in my language is
He wore a black suit with a hat. On one hand, he had a briefcase. On the other hand, he had an umbrella. His face was pale and blank,
Also,
like he
Tintin
only
in
looked
English
human,
is Tintin,
but was a
okay?
completely different creature inside. I kid you not. In that scary ambiance, his sudden appearance gave me goosebumps. If I haven't peed earlier, I would have surely peed on myself. I didn't want to sound scared because I realized I am standing outside my car, which is a few feet away. Deciding not to do anything stupid at that point, I got my shit together. I called out to him.
Hello, mister.
Zoba. Yeah,
Do you need
stupid.
any help?
The man didn't say anything, just looked behind him, turning his head in slow motion like someone or something else was controlling him. He then slowly turned back at me and nodded his head from left to right, gesturing no. But he also didn't walk away. Without wasting any more time, I took a step to go to my car. That's when the man started to run at me at full speed.
Holy shit!
But I was quick, like a pro. Before he could get to me, I almost threw myself into the car,
Locked the car.
and locked the door. He stopped right next to my window, and finally, I got a glimpse of his entire face. He had white paint smeared on his face. He had no eyebrows and blue, glassy eyes. I was panting in fear, not regretting my decision not to listen to Emily. The man watched me for a few moments and then looked ahead like something was out there, waiting. And that's when things changed into horror from just being creepy. The man started to run ahead of my car, and suddenly, another man dressed exactly like
Another
him
deep one.
came out of the dark and followed. I put my car into drive, and the two men ran even faster. What happened next will be forever stepped into my memory. The two black-suited men rushed to the other side of the road near a bush, and a group of freaky-looking men, all dressed the same way, came out. I realized it was a trap they all have set. The 7 to 8 black-suited men started to jump and howl, scaring the shit out of me. Right then, far away in that field, a red flare light lit up, spotting another man. And then, from the other side of the road, a tall man wearing a deer head with huge antlers walked right in front of my car to join that freaky group of men. While walking, he stared at me, and I felt they were all waiting for that one chance to get to me, which luckily, they didn't. As soon as the deer-headed man crossed the road, I hit hard on the accelerator and sped like a road runner. I only stopped when I reached home. I couldn't sleep the entire night and kept checking out from my window, fearing those black-suited men must have followed me home. I am glad they didn't. So, for a little suggestion, if you happen to drive by the Crooked Creek after dark, just don't get out of your car in the middle of the road. I don't know what those men were up to that night, but I do believe that they were there for a sacrifice to perform some scary ritual.
Guys, like I think that we're gonna check one last one. So here we go. We're going to check another one. Here we go. Sleep paralysis. Yo, this story and sleep paralysis. Guys, it's no joke.
My name is Christina, and today is my first day seeing a psychologist. I've always been a troubled kid, but I've never actually needed to see someone to justify that. Well, not until now. A few weeks back, something happened. Even now, it's hard for me to think about it, even though I know I will have to. I can't just pretend everything is fine. I was at a house party with a couple of my friends. Tom and Alice were taking shots by my side as I watched on, a little
That's how you
worried.
dance like a crocodile.
Admittedly, the two of them often overdid the drinking, so I usually stayed sober to make sure they'd be okay. Instead of drinking, you should try lucid dreaming. Alice cackled as she threw back another shot, tossing her head back as well. I gagged at the sight of pure alcohol coming from her. It wasn't long until she vomited and regretted all of her life choices. As her best friend, it was my duty to take care of her. She'd always said she would do the same for me one day. But that day, I shake my head, trying not to feel too much anger for my friend. She was drunk after all. Lucid dreaming? I asked, because really, I wanted to at least sound cool. Only, I had no idea what this lucid dreaming thing was. Yeah, you try to sleep on your back and meditate or whatever. It's like getting high. Apparently you can fly and stuff when you sleep like that. Control your movements, eat, whatever. For how drunk she was. Alice
So I was
explained the
lucid
concept
dreaming. I
well
also had
enough,
something similar
and
like
then
that. Like
barfed the last
I
few
slept on my
shots out
back
into the
and then
trash
I
can
couldn't move.
before going in for another.
But yeah.
You should just sleep here, Cindy, the host said, laying a hand on my shoulder. I stepped away, while she managed to walk in a straight line. She was clearly wasted as well. But she was right. I didn't feel very comfortable driving a puking Alice and Tom who was probably up to no good. Crashing on a bed and going back home the next morning sounded like a much better idea.
Yeah.
And so,
Just what if there's spirits in
with the
other people's
music still
houses? Be
echoing off
careful,
the
guys.
walls, I curled up in Cindy's bed, only to be reminded of lucid dreaming again. I've never gotten high, and part of me wanted to at least try. What could go wrong, right?
Everything.
I grabbed my phone and did some research. I shouldn't have done that, but minutes later, I was listening to an audio that was sure to help me lucid dream. As the reliable friend, I wanted to just do something crazy for once. I should have just had a couple shots. See, as I listened to the crooning male voice coax me to relax, I became hyper-aware of my body. It felt weird, forcing myself to keep still, to stop wiggling my toes, to make my fingers stop clutching the blanket over me. Finally, it started. I felt as if I was anchored to the bed. The man from the audio said it was okay. All I needed was to push myself off, to take flight. But I couldn't. I tried to wiggle my toes at first, but they refused to move. My neck, too, felt as if it had glued to the cushion. The music still continued, as loud as ever. With the audio stopping, I could hear it again. But I couldn't react to it. I was paralyzed. I'd never heard of anything like this happening.
Sleep
But
paralysis.
then again, I rarely dreamt. So, being in such a state was fascinating at first. I was hyper aware of everything going on around me. The heat of my blanket covering me, the noises, the way my chest rose and fell. My eyes, they were stuck open too, although all I could see was the ceiling. I tried to push myself away, once again, but nothing happened. And then, I heard it. A scream. Alice! Alice! I wanted to shout, knowing it was her, but my throat felt like it was stuffed with cotton. Breathing became a chore as I realized just how dry my mouth
So
was.
that's why I was also
As
I
if
was
it was
experiencing
stuck
this, but when I
open
tried
too.
to scream, bruh,
Maybe it was, but there was nothing I could do about it. Alice barged into the room, nearly tearing the door off the hinges. She wasn't herself. I knew that, but still.
What the? Did you really do it? Huh. Look at the loser. Christina, can you move?
I tried my hardest to nod, fearing the person I had thought to be my friend, but nothing happened.
Gosh, look at you. Too smart for drugs, so you decided to get high in a different way. Huh. I've always wanted this. To see you motionless.
This is not Alice, I thought to myself. But the way she leaned over me, her face obstructing my sight, made it hard to believe it wasn't Alice's perfectly manicured nails. And they seemed much longer, like claws, as she dragged them down the wall, creating deep scratches. The sound pierced my ears. It was like chalk against a chalkboard. I shuddered as those very nails wrapped around my face. But suddenly, the figure above me wasn't Alice anymore. Her features seemed to contort into something strange, inhumane almost. Makeup melted off her face, blending in with her skin until all that was left on her face was just black and nothing else. Her laughter, though, kept ringing in my ears. I felt pressure on my chest as if she was pushing down, and then I realized no, the creature was sitting on me. I'm going to suffocate, I thought, panic coursing through my entire body. Normally, this should have been enough, I was sure, for someone to snap out of this nightmare, but it wasn't for me. Alice cackled, showing teeth that I knew did not belong to her. They were yellow and disgusting, dripping with blood. The monster. No, Alice. No, the monster. It was going to bite me. I was sure of that, but I just couldn't move. My voice was still lost, but I struggled to at least scream, but all I managed was a quiet whine. And no help came. Alice, please, don't do this. I begged her in my mind.
You always spoil my fun, Christina. Why do you even come with us if you don't like partying? Such a spoiled sport. You know what we do with people like you?
Her voice was sweet like honey, but I felt nails press into my throat. I maniacally started to move again. I needed to at least roll away before I would get cut. We drowned then. Water. Suddenly, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even see anything, but it felt like water was enveloping my head from all sides. It burnt at my eyes, snuck into my nose, gurgled down my throat. I felt as if nothing but water existed around me. And then, I woke up. But when I did, I was the one with fingers around someone's throat. Alice leaned over me, shot clear on her face. My grip tightened. I could move, but I was reluctant to peel them off, even as her face started to turn blue, as tears gathered in her eyes, as she stopped breathing. At first, I watched her go limp, fall, stiff from my hold on the wooden floor, head crashing painfully against the nightstand. I was certain I was still dreaming, paralyzed, so I pinched myself. My nails had little bits of skin stuck underneath them. The pinch hurt. Crap, Alice. It was too late. She was bleeding too much and too quickly. It must have been the cut on her head that killed her. But the marks around her neck were on display too. No matter how hard I tried to scrub them off before the door opened again. It was Tom, with 2 glasses of water. He was the one who called the police on me. The next day or so was a blur. Well, all these weeks had been, really. Alice was killed. By me.
Wow.
Apparently she'd gone upstairs to check on me, to make sure I was all right, because she had heard me screaming. And I killed her. I begged the policeman to understand that I had been paralyzed, that something else was controlling me. But why would anyone believe me? The ratty nerd who always envied her darling popular friend. The girl who never dared to do much but watch her friends have fun.
See guys,
So-
that's why you must always have fun.
Here I am now, locked up, ready for my first time in therapy. In jail. Apparently, what had happened could still be ruled an accident. I could be freed after a few years.
Yes.
But what if history will repeat itself? Ever since then, I only sleep when I collapse out of exhaustion. I try to keep my mind busy, hoping that I never fall into that weird, possessed paralysis thing again. But it's getting harder and harder. I fear that one night I will fall asleep early, and I'll hurt someone again. Or hurt myself. Who knows? Anything can happen in that twisted state.
Hey guys, I see many of you commenting on my videos that this
Okay, guys. Oh, my back. A scale of 1 to 10. I'll give that thing a 3. Because, like, I know, guys, you guys are all like, boo hoo hoo, how is it a 3? Because, like, no, guys, like, be honest, I was not screaming, I was just invested. Like, it was kind of like a sad story than most things. But it shows, guys, please, whatever you see on the internet, don't try. So, like, let me just explain to you. Mine was like similar, right? But, you know, I was sleeping like this. I was hearing voices, and then this doll was about to, like, this doll was about to, you know, it was about to come form, and then I woke up screaming, and I've been having it since my entire childhood. It happened once again, but then, okay, I called my little sister's name, Kenya. I called my little sister's name. She comes into the room, but she's holding me on my back, counting 10, now, but in a deep voice, and then boom, I woke up. Guys, life's getting creepy. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Please, guys, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later, but for now, I'm out. Peace of the East, of the Arab.
How to get rid of unwanted fat.
Je sais pas que j'ai fait de pas bon, mais...
You maraisa kukurumba.
I know you're talking when I sweaty pum pum.
Who's sweaty pum pum when I play my bass?
Also you're talking. So suck your toes. I don't suck my toes, I wash my toes.
Yo, Mara, you are silly when I play my bass. I don't shut up, I grow up.
Buzz off.
4.1 La Raza. Can't even spell my name.
So Soweto is a township.
I didn't ask you.
You never had to.
That's why I didn't.
Yo, Kita, what about ping pop in
after school, you can't even spell my name.
Precious.